One day, you will realize that the problem was never laziness or lack of talent. It was time. Time you thought you had. Time you believed would always be there. So you waited. You delayed. You told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow quietly turned into years. And by the time you look back, the hours that could have changed everything were already gone. Once there lived a young boy who had everything a child could wish for. His parents loved him deeply and protected him from every hardship. His teachers believed in him and often spoke about his potential. He lived in comfort, surrounded by safety and support. Yet despite all this, the boy carried one dangerous habit that slowly shaped his future. He delayed everything. When his mother asked him to clean his room, he would smile and say, I will do it later. When his teacher gave him homework, he thought to himself, there is still enough time. When his friends suggested extra classes or self-improvement, he replied casually, maybe next time. It never felt harmful. It felt normal, comfortable, easy. Days turned into months, and months quietly turned into years. While his classmates learned new skills, pushed themselves and moved forward in life, the boy stayed exactly where he was. He watched others grow while he remained unchanged. He was like a tree that refused to grow while the entire forest around it flourished. When his exams finally came, he failed badly. The failure did not just affect his grades, it broke him from within. He felt ashamed, lost, and disappointed in himself. Slowly, he became withdrawn. He spent his days sitting alone in dark rooms, replaying his mistakes again and again in his mind. His family watched helplessly as the boy they loved faded into silence and regret. One day, overwhelmed and frustrated, he left his home and walked aimlessly into a nearby forest. His mind was heavy with thoughts he could no longer escape. He sat quietly by the bank of a river, staring at the flowing water, lost in reflection. Suddenly, he noticed smoke rising from behind a tree. Curious, he moved closer. There he saw a monk sitting in deep meditation, calm and still, with food gently cooking nearby. The boy bowed respectfully. When the monk opened his eyes, he looked at the boy with kindness and gently asked, "Who are you, my friend? Why do you look so troubled?" The boy shared his entire story. He spoke about his habit of delay, his wasted years, his missed chances, and his painful failure. The monk listened silently, without judgment. After a moment, he nodded and said, "Let me tell you a story. Maybe this story will help you understand." Once, in a small village near a river, there lived a poor fisherman. Every morning before sunrise, he walked through the river carrying his net. This routine had remained unchanged for many years. One unusually dark morning, the sky was covered with thick clouds. There was no moon and no stars. As he walked along the familiar path, his foot struck something on the ground. He bent down and picked up a small cloth sack. It felt heavy, as if filled with stones. Thinking it belonged to a child, he carried it with him to the riverbank. He sat near the water and waited for the sun to rise. The river could not be seen, but its gentle sound filled the silence. To pass the time, he opened the sack and took out a stone. It felt smooth and cool in his hand. Without much thought, he threw it into the river. The sound felt strangely calming. He threw another stone, then another. Each sound brought him a quiet sense of peace. As he continued throwing the stones, his mind drifted to his life, his struggles, worries, and unanswered questions. Slowly, the sky began to change. The darkness faded and the river gradually came into view. He reached into the sack again. Only one stone remained. As he lifted it to throw into the river, the first ray of sunlight touched it, and the stone suddenly sparkled. His heart froze. Gee, it was not a stone. It was a diamond. Shaken, he turned the sack upside down. It was empty. In the darkness, he had thrown all the diamonds into the river. He fell to his knees by the riverbank, staring at the flowing water. He had lost a fortune that could have changed his life forever. For hours he sat there cursing his ignorance. Then a thought of wisdom rose in his mind. Looking at the single diamond still in his hand, he whispered, "At least I have one left. This one diamond is still precious. If used wisely, it can change my life." With acceptance and understanding in his heart, he returned to his home. The monk looked into the boy's eyes and said, "You see, my friend, we all carry a sack full of diamonds. It is time. Every moment of our life is priceless. But in the darkness of ignorance, We throw it away like ordinary stones. Your life is no different from that fisherman. You also threw away time thinking it was worthless. You cannot go back and change it. But just like the fisherman still had one diamond left, you also still have time. If you use it wisely, you can still rebuild your life. Remember this always. Time is precious like diamonds. If you wasted it in the past, stop now. Do not waste what you still have. This powerful story teaches us that time is the most precious currency we possess, yet we often spend it carelessly as if it were worthless. We scroll endlessly on our phones, postpone important tasks, and delay chasing our dreams, believing we have infinite tomorrows, but time, once gone, never returns. The moment you truly understand that every second is a diamond, everything begins to change. You stop waiting for the perfect moment because you realize that this moment itself is perfect. You stop saying, "I will do it tomorrow," because you understand that tomorrow is often just an illusion. Whatever needs to be done can only be done in the present. Your time has not passed yet. You still have diamonds left in your sack. The real question is this: will you continue throwing them away, or will you start valuing each moment and using it wisely? The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who do not is simple. Successful people treat their time like diamonds, while others treat it like stones. So if you truly want to change your life, start respecting your time today. Stop postponing what matters. Use each moment with awareness and purpose, because every diamond you protect today shapes the life you will live tomorrow. This is not just a story, it is a warning. Because if you are not careful, your life can pass without ever truly beginning.